Hello Athens, I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. It's March 27th, 2020. I'm your city manager, Seth Sumner, here with your daily COVID-19 update. I've asked our fire chief, Brandon Ainsworth, to join me today to help provide you further information about how the fire department is responding during this pandemic. Chief Ainsworth, can you tell us about Athens Fire Department?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Manager Sumner. So the fire department, we're operating at full capacity. We're full staff. We've got our staff taking extra precautionary measures with PPE, which is personal protective equipment, things like gloves, glasses, safety glasses, protective masks. We've got all of our equipment staffed with that type of equipment. So when we get out here dealing with the COVID-19 situation, that our guys are taking the extra step needed to protect ourselves.
Thank you. Now, we talked in some of our earlier videos about how we're helping to coordinate with all of the other agencies and departments throughout all of McMinn County. Can you tell me more about how Athens Fire Department has helped lead that?
Absolutely. So we've had some recent meetings in the past couple of weeks with emergency services from around the county, including law enforcement, fire, EMS, just to kind of make sure everybody's on the same page, to make sure everybody has got the proper equipment we need to protect ourselves when going out on these calls. This includes dispatch. That's a key part with what we do. They take that initial call. So we're encouraging all citizens to give the 911 dispatcher that information. If they need 911 or need our services, when they call 911, tell them the symptoms they're having. Be sure and give them more detail about the situation so they can relay that to us, whether it be fire or EMS or even law enforcement coming to their aid, so we know what we need to do to take the extra steps to protect ourselves.
That's very important. Can you tell me some things that are different today in the fire service than they were just a couple weeks ago?
So one of the big things is we have stopped all PR events to eliminate any unneeded contact for our staff. We've got to try to keep our firefighters and first responders safe and ready to go at any time. Another thing, we're big into code compliance and fire inspections, and we have suspended that. Now, we do encourage our citizens and businesses to stay in compliance with the code, although that we've had to make some changes with lobbies of restaurants closing and things like that. We do ask that they stay in compliance, they keep their means of egress accessible, because there's still employees in there. So don't lock doors, don't obstruct the means of egress and exit ways for the staff that is still on site, although the lobbies have had to close. We're open, our offices, we're still in the office. Any questions, we'll be glad to answer them any way we can help. We're still conducting business as usual for that. We're just not out here in the businesses with contact with the citizens doing inspections, but we absolutely encourage anyone that has questions to give us a call.
Absolutely. What are some things that really haven't changed that much in the last couple of weeks? What are some things that we're still doing just like we would do any other day?
So our calls, we're still providing the service as we're expected to. We're still out running the calls, being there for our citizens. If a citizen calls and needs us, we're still going just as we normally do. None of that's changed. Our appearance is going to change due to our personal protective equipment that we've added. Our burn permits and all that process is still exactly the same. Call in if you need a burn permit. So for the most part, we're business as usual. It's just our contact with the community one-on-one or going in businesses and groups and things like that. That's really the only part of our daily routine we've changed.
It's good to know and have some level of continuity day to day. It's important to still be seen in the community, but taking notice that you're not making that personal contact that you might otherwise be making, to try to keep that at least 6-foot distance that is the CDC guidance right now, to keep our firefighters safe. We've got to have those folks healthy and able to answer the call, and so I know that there are protocols that you and the police department have also put in place to help further keep our first responders, our public safety personnel safe and away from other people as best possible during this time. And I certainly appreciate that.
And one of the things that we have also done to go along with that, just as you've done implemented for our city properties, is our fire stations are also closed to the public. We, coincide with how you've already addressed it to the public, we ask that they call. If they need us, we're here. We're going to answer their questions. Our doors may be closed for public access, but we're still going to answer questions and help our citizens. So we don't want anyone to think that we're closed for business, because that's not the case. We're here just like we've always been. We're just having to go about things a little bit different.
That's right. Are there any other things that you think is important for the public to know right now?
Well, I would just like to say that, continue to follow the guidelines that CDC and the Tennessee Department of Health are putting out. It's extremely important that you pay attention to the correct sources of information, and CDC and the Tennessee Department of Health is two. The rumor mill can cause problems, so that's two locations to get your information from. They put out updated numbers at 3 p.m. Eastern time on a daily basis. So follow those guidelines. Do as they say. This will pass. This will all pass, and we'll be able to get back to normal. And I would like to say thank you to our citizens. We've had numerous people reaching out to us, offering to help. They're wanting to do a variety of things without making contact. We've got a couple of local citizens that are actually making us handmade masks for our face. Wow. For protection. And I have got, so far I think we've got about 125 of those, and I have started distributing them out to other first responder agencies, as well as some going to our local health system and those that's actually in the doctor's offices and the facilities dealing with contacting with folks. So it is about the first responders and the fire department, EMS, and law enforcement, but we also got to remember our healthcare providers. So that stuff that we're getting, I am distributing to our local healthcare providers, because they're the ones that's dealing with this in more of a closed environment than what we are. So thank you, and we appreciate everything that the citizens are willing to do and offer us during this difficult time.
I couldn't have said that better myself. Brandon, thank you for all that you do for Team Athens and our citizens and our guests, keeping everybody safe, inspecting buildings, making sure that those life safety protocols are in place, because that makes a difference. We want to make sure that all of our citizens and guests get to go home and enjoy their family every night, and we certainly want to make sure that that's the same for all of our firefighters as well. So thank you for all that you do.
Sure.
With that, may God bless you, and may God bless Athens.